I don't know if you heard or not. So if you listened to the hate report or the hate show yesterday, hate.com, you may have heard about this. And I don't know, did you play it on your show about the riot in Europe?
Yeah, we got into it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the Anchor Baby.
I was just showing some graphs about how Pew Research shows that a lot of the countries you were just talking about
Yeah.
don't want any more immigration when you ask the voters.
I know the voters don't have any say so anymore. The voters have voted in the people who took away their power to speak up. Isn't that amazing? The voters don't have any say so anymore. You voted in egotistical, power hungry politicians. And now they don't care, especially if you're white. They don't care if you are mad, angry. They say, well, you don't have a right to be mad at the illegal aliens. They want them over here and over in the white country to vote for them. There's been rioting happening in Europe. The whites are going through exactly what the whites are going through in America, per hell. And they have no help, zero. They have a government that is against them and for the illegal aliens, and they don't care if it's true or not, allegedly or not alleged, that you get killed, robbed, and raped. But if a white person do it to a non-white person, it's all over the media is used for destruction. According to the news report, this is how the whole deal unfolded over there in England. ABC 7, 3 young girls were killed and 9 others injured in a stabbing attack last Monday at a dance school in Southport, England. That's happening in America now, and it's going to get worse. A 17-year-old boy from the area was arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. Watch this from ABC 7.
To the horrifying scene out of the United Kingdom. A 17-year-old boy is in custody, accused of a stabbing spree at a children's dance class. 3 girls under the age of 10 were killed. Now investigators are trying to figure out a motive behind this grisly attack. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
An urgent investigation is underway into a fatal stabbing outside Liverpool in the United Kingdom.
It is understood that the children were attending a Taylor Swift event at a dance school when the offender, armed with a knife, walked into the premises and started to attack inside.
Authorities believe 2 adults were trying to protect the children. 3 little girls killed, identified as Alice Aguiar, Bebe King, and Elsie Stancombe. The suspect, a 17-year-old boy who was also critically injured, is in custody, charged with murder and attempted murder.
I know the whole country is deeply shocked at what they've seen and what they've heard.
Authorities say the motive remains unclear, but they've ruled out a terror-related attack. Taylor Swift responding on Instagram, writing in part, "They were just little kids at a dance class. I am at a complete loss for how to ever convey my sympathies to these families." King Charles saying, quote, "Heartfelt condolences, prayers, and deepest sympathies to the families and loved ones, and to all those affected by this truly appalling attack."
Amazing. Your phony prayers and your outrage don't mean a thing. You set it up like this, government, and you allowed it to happen, we the people, and this is what you're getting. Because you're afraid. White people are afraid to speak up. And now those little girls are dead. And this is not the first time or the second time or the third time or the fourth time. And yet, you still vote in the same kind of people who are just not about you at all. That's happening in America right now. the black on black crime, it always happens because that's what black people do to each other, right? But it's happening to whites now by the blacks. According to Wikipedia, that the guy that was allegedly committed the crime is Atso Rudakabana, Rudakubana, Ruda Cabana, and he looked black. There he is. That's him when he was little, according to the story, and that's him as an older person. He got the black hair for sure, radical hair. He looked black to me, and he looked African or something. You allow them into your country, this is what you're going to get. You allow them into America, this is what you're going to get. President Trump said, you got all kind of people coming from, I'm sure some of them are nice, but they're coming from S-hole country with their S-hole ideas. They don't fit into this culture or white culture or Christian culture. And now the whites are rioting over there in Europe. And who you think going to get locked up? The boy that was accused of doing this, or the time and time again when this happened, or the white people who are rioting? Who do you think going to get locked up? ABC is reporting that rioters set fire and broke into a hotel used to shelter asylum seekers in northern England on Sunday. I want you to watch this news coverage of that riot from ABC 7.
Less than a week after 3 small girls were killed in a Taylor Swift-themed dance class in Southport near Liverpool in northwest England, far-right protests, anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim protests have continued to take place in cities across the UK. On Saturday, they took place in cities such as Bristol in the west of England, Hull in the northeast, Belfast in Northern Ireland, Liverpool, Manchester as well. There were scenes of violent clashes between far-right protesters and police, a number of whose officers were injured when they had things like bricks and bottles thrown at them. There were also violent scenes when anti-racist protesters and far-right protesters managed to get to one another. For the most part, they were kept apart by police officers. We also saw vehicles being set on fire. There were also reports of looting in some instances as well. Prime Minister Keir Starmer saying that the police had the government's full backing to try to keep the streets of Britain safe and to take full measures that were necessary against those that, in his words, were looking to sow hate. Now, these protests began in the wake of this stabbing that, as I say, left 3 girls killed, seriously injured 8 others, and left 2 adults in hospital. There was misinformation spread on social media, particularly X, that said that the perpetrator was a recent migrant and who was Muslim. As a result of this misinformation, the judge presiding the case took the unusual step of lifting reporting restrictions on the 17-year-old boy, who turns out to be born in Cardiff in Wales and whose parents came to the UK in the wake of the Rwandan genocide. They came from that country.
Amazing. If the boy had been white and they were putting out that kind of, you think the judge would have lifted the information? No. And white people, they want you rioting. And then when you're rioting, you're going to have the illegal aliens, the people from foreign countries, come and fight against you, and they're going to accuse you. They're going to say you're racist. They want you doing this. That's why you should drop anger so you can see how to deal with the issues of life in the right way. You've been set up. 888-77-JESSE. I speak of this and as a warning to you that it's only going to get worse. American government and European government no longer support the people. They want power. They want wealth. And they are now catering to the visitors of the land and not the people who own the land in white countries. And it's only going to get worse. I'm going to get to your cause. I just want to show you this. It's so evil. And it's just mind-blowing. I'm blown away. I never imagined in growing up, and some of you know I grew up on a plantation down in Alabama under the Jim Crow law and all that stuff. Life was amazing. My America was beautiful. I never imagined that it would come to this, and then the same thing would be happening in Europe and other white countries. The attack on white people blows my mind. And not necessarily that the attack is happening, but the fear of white Americans since I've been aware of this, last 30 to 40 years, the fear to speak up is mind-blowing to me. This is a little more information from the riot that's happening in Europe over some black guy been accused of, over there in England, some black guy been accused of killing a couple of little white girls at a dance party. And the riots that happening over there now. Here is from ABC. Or maybe this is X. A video of, this is from X. A video of the rioter attacking a hotel used to house asylum seekers. Watch this.
Oh, man, they're in. They're in. Oh, wow.
Where are you bastards?
They're in. Fucking hell. They are the went upstairs at last. Get out! Get out!
And we have the same thing over here. Remember in New York, the mayor of New York, he put them in 4 and 5 stars hotels. They took old buildings in Chicago and other places and made it available for the illegal aliens. Free everything. And some of the illegal aliens over here are complaining about the food, though it's free. Did they have better food over wherever they came from? And white people, you're rioting over there, and what did the Prime Minister say about it, Nick?
Oh, I'm looking at it. Keir Starmer's Twitter right now. That's the Prime Minister of the UK. And here's a tweet 22 hours ago. This is not a protest. It is pure violence. We will have a standing army of public duty officers. We will ramp up criminal justice. We will apply criminal law online as well as offline. So you better not say anything racist online. And so far that sounds nice, right? But he ends it off with this. We will not tolerate attacks on mosques or Muslim communities. So he seems to be thinking of only one side.
It's not, your own government is not trying to protect Christians and churches. Christian churches, they're protecting the Muslims, not the citizens. And these people come into your country, my country here in America, and they shout, "Death to America." Think about that. On your own land, death to America in Washington, D.C., and the president is home. Right at home, they can hear it. And nobody does a thing about it. It's like men who are getting beat up by their wives every day now. And they do nothing about it. They don't do anything. They don't have them arrested, the wife. They just get beat up, making the wife or causing or encouraging the wife to hate them more. White people are being encouraged due to their weakness and not dealing with life in the right way. I mean, deal with it the right way, not radical. but you're making them hate you more. And the government, the white government, is not on the white people's side. Following the attack, Muslim patrol groups began to unite. Muslim patrol groups began to unite. According to these stories, X is reporting Muslim patrol groups unite. Watch this. Allah Akbar in a foreign land, in a land where the government of that land allowed them to come in. Can they go over there to their countries and shout Allah Akbar and go after their government like that? Can they do that? Why are they so brave over in England and America, but they're not that brave in their own country? And if there's, why don't they go back to their country and make their country better if they don't like over here and over there in England? Allah Akbar. They are uniting against the citizens of the country of England and America. And if you fight back, you're called racist. This is why I'm telling you, don't be angry. Drop the anger. There's never, ever a situation or reason to be angry. And when you are not angry, you have a clear mind, believe me, you function in a way that protects you and not go against you. But the government wants you angry, even wants you angry. They want the Muslims and the whites fighting. Why do you think they let them in? They let them in so they can bring all this destruction between the races, so that they can get power and wealth. It's a setup. Another quick video from X. It's a video of the Muslim patrol groups attacking white British citizens. Watch this. The visitors are attacking and I don't hear the government calling that racism or anti-white. Why don't we hear the government saying that? Something about that. It's happening in America too. If you don't overcome your fear, you're not going to be able to live in this world with perfect peace. You're going to be in it, of it, part of it, and in fear and everything. And then you're going to be depressed, and you're going to have to go down to your phony counselor and get some pills and get worse and not get better. You got to overcome fear. Fear is your enemy. Fear is not good. And I'm talking about spiritual fear, not physical fear. You're supposed to be careful with that. But spiritual fear is evil. And last but not least, this is from Sky News. Sky News abruptly cut its live feed as a mob of migrants surrounded its reporters. Watch this.
Community leaders have been speaking to the police as well because...
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
But I think, apologies for the language you're hearing, but a sense of the anger, I think you can hear there.
Yeah, Casey, I think Becky, I apologise. We need to leave you there and...
yeah, leave
Becky,
you there.
We'll have security there and we will leave that. And I apologise once again
on the run
for the language there.
Free Palestine over in Europe. Why don't you go back to Palestine? I never understood why people go to a foreign land and attack the foreign land that allowed them to come in and give them free stuff. Free Palestine in England. Go back to Palestine. If you're so free over there, what you doing over there? Over here. According to ABC7, the far right has seized on spread. According to the far right, according to ABC7, the far right has seized on and spread a wave of disinformation, including false claim that the attacker was an immigrant, to mobilize anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant protests. Police say the suspect was born in Britain. I don't care about that. I care about you can allow foreigners to come into your own land and take over and try to hurt you. I wonder what happened to Baker, that news lady. He left her there, he said. I'm sorry, Baker, we're going to leave. Bye. And we'll have protection for you. It's like invite family members to your house for vacation or something, and they stay a week or two, and they say, they rule your house. You're afraid to tell them to go home. They eat up all you have a little candy yam left over from the day before, and you at work, and you can't wait to go back home and have dinner and have the rest of your candy yam because you know it's good. It's been sitting there for a day. And you look in the refrigerator, they ate it up. And they sit around waiting for you to bring some more dinner home. That's what's happening to America and Europe and the white countries. 888, it's a spiritual battle. It's such a spiritual battle. I don't know what to say about it. And the only way you're going to understand it, the only way you're going to clearly see what's going on and how to handle it in the right way, you must be born of the Spirit. All who are born of the woman, of the flesh, of the woman, of the flesh, of the woman, must be born of the Spirit of the Father. Otherwise, you're lost. You're lost. Whether you know it or not, you are lost. And you have fear. All lost people have fear. All lost people are desperate. They are a desperate people or a desperate person. And a desperate person is a murderer. They'll do anything. It don't matter, family symbol, whatever. A desperate person. What do you think wives do to the men's children when they go and lie and cry and pretend that, they fight to keep the children away? Those are evil, angry, desperate women. They're wicked, and they have no love for anyone or anything but themselves. And that's not love, it's fake.